Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now for a fun exercise, let's see who all has not come today. Pen, please. Thank you. Orally, I saw somewhere, yes? Yes. Gauri, here. Varmas, here? Yeah. One Varma here, another Varma also there, okay? Both are there. Jairam? Absent. Almost. Yeah. Juliana and Juliana's Thiago, not yet here. Kenichi. Yes. Mary. Yes. Prabha and Ramaraju, still sick, maybe. Yeah. Lakshmi. Here? Yes. Okay. Oscar. Yes. Palak. Oh. Rudra. Yes. And then Rajesh. Yes. Rakesh. Yes. Ritik. And then Natarajan. Not here. Samrat. Okay. Sanket. Shrikant. Yes. And then Swamini Satchidananda Saraswati. There. Another Thiago. There. Tarun. Yes. Tripti. Very good. Hari Om to you too. Mahesh. Mahesh. Yeah, looking nice in his new place. Yeah. Vinita. Okay. Then, what else? Daniela. Deepthi. Gangadhara. There. Okay, I was looking there. Sometimes he sits there. So, Narendra. Yes. Nivedita. Not yet come back. Pavan. Yes. Pooja. Purna. Of course, pen is hers. So, she must be here. Anumana. Okay. Richi. Satish. Okay. That Thiago and Juliana are also here, and I believe Pooja is just walking in. Okay. Yeah. I made some noises when I did not see you. Okay. They were not very nice noises. All right. So, Shambhavi. All right. Shrikar. Yes. Sudhanshu and Bhaskara. Okay. Prior to the Gita class, recording of Pujya Swamiji's chanting is played. Here the chanting speed is very fast. I am only reading, okay? Yeah. So, here the chanting speed is very fast. Can the recording be decreased by 15-20%? Not the recording, the speed of the recording is what is meant by the questioner. Can it be decreased by 50-20%? Well, I am afraid then Pujya Swamiji will sound like that. I hope it won't sound like that. I don't know, I have not done that. I don't mind the fastness of the chant. I mean, I don't see why that is a problem. But if there are any technical difficulties in doing the above, can we play the chanting by Swami Paramarthananda, which is relatively slower? This is a question for Shrikar. Yeah. So, it's not my department. I just come and teach and go. Okay. So, I'll leave it there. Who wants to say something?
So, one way maybe to share Pujya Swamiji's recording.
No, that's not, recording can be shared, that's not the point, that is not the question. This is your question? Okay, then let's keep quiet, okay? So, so, being I am, which is the self poof? No, it can't be poof. Proof. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Poof means there is no self. Self poof. Okay. Yeah, no. That's not the self we talk about here. Self proof of what is this? Existence. Abba, yes. Shabash. I'm giving myself a compliment. Yeah. Being I am, which is the self proof of existence. Yes. Your being and your ability to say I am is the very proof of your own existence. Okay? Yes, correct. And then, but I fear I am committing the same mistake that I did before, which is interpret this abidance something it to a memory, from I suppose it's from it to a memory, and chase cheese. No, it's not cheese. It is not cheese. Okay, yeah, because context is not correct. Okay, yeah. If we were discussing pizza, then yes, but this is Atma. All right, yeah. So it must be either chase, because then the next two words are chase it down. Chase it down as an ideal, reinforcing that same old pattern I once did. Oh, I think the problem was I read the second half first. My bad. Okay, so let's try again. All right, yeah. No wonder it made very little sense, because I was not understanding the context of this. Let us rub that out from our minds. Fresh start. Okay, yeah. Just like how you go to Sanskrit class. Fresh start each and every time. Okay, so now also same. All right. So I was granted the state which I know is not a state before and again, which was not state before, and again I find myself abiding in this stateless state where I know that I am not even the knower, but the brute looks like stress. Isness, yes, not stress, okay? Yeah, brute isness of being. This pure fact of being, I am, which is the self-proof of existence. But I fear I am committing the same mistake that I did before. That is, interpret this abidance from it to a memory and chase it down as an ideal reinforcing of that same pattern which I once did. Now, I don't know the pattern, okay? Yeah. Even after reading it correctly, I am a little still, in the fog about the pattern. I don't know the pattern of which you speak. If the pattern is taking this stateless state for granted and interpret this abidance to a memory, it's not a memory. That you are is not a memory, first of all, because memory is pratyabhijna. The meaning of memory in Sanskrit, the word for memory is pratyabhijna. And so the memory is what? It's just whatever you know, which is in the form of recalled thoughts. That's what is memory. You are not a thought. The self is not an object of thought. The self is itself not a thought. But yet, here your question is valid, because we do say I thought. Ahankara, I thought, I notion, etc. So the I thought, aham, how does it communicate? It communicates in the form of the vritti alone, aham vritti. idam vritti. So, but the aham is not dependent on vritti, neither is the cognition of aham dependent on vritti, but still it is as though carried by the vritti. In fact, the aham illumines the vritti to carry it. So that's how it is. It's like you are carrying gasoline in a truck, and then how is the truck going? Because of gasoline, okay, like that. So the aham, the I thought is carried in the mind, but then the I thought is, the I is the one that illumines the mind, and the mind in turn illumines the vritti to bring that I-ness as present, as free to you. So it is not a thought, and it is also not a state, and it is also not based on memory. Thank God. Otherwise no one will come to Vedanta, because they will say my memory is bad, I can't understand this, so I won't be studying this. So, so therefore I hope I was able to help in the answer, because I don't think I understood this question very well. If anybody, if you want to come and explain, if you want to raise your hand and explain, I am open to that. Maharshi Patanjali is believed to be reincarnated as Govinda Pada, who is the Guru of Adi Shankaracharya ji. So, Maharshi Patanjali comes under the lineage of Advaita Vedanta, right? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I did not ask Govinda Pada, all right? So, I don't know. It is a belief, and it's okay. It's not harming anyone. As far as we know, Bhagavat Govinda Pada, Guru of Adi Shankara, did not protest. They are all calling me an incarnate of Maharshi. This is not correct. He did not protest. And Maharshi Patanjali also did not protest in any which ways he could have. So, theek hai. These are all beliefs. So it's okay. Whether it's true or not, it's a non-verifiable belief, we don't know. And what is the more interesting about this question to me is, what is the desire here to drag Patanjali and put him in Advaita? That is what is more interest to me. अरे बेचारा उधर है, रहने दो ना, he is somewhere where he has done something, let him be. R.I.P. Okay, let him rest in peace. Yeah. What is this pressure to make everything into Advaita? All the Dvaita must be made into Advaita right now. That is more interesting, okay? That desire to me is very interesting. No problem. That's okay. Because we don't have to make, why it is interesting, because we don't have to make anything Advaita. Because why? It's already Advaita. So really speaking, the I in Maharshi Patanjali is the I in the Gaudapada, Govindapada, all the Padas, and then everyone. Yes. So in a way, you are also an incarnate of Maharshi Patanjali. Same thing. On that happy note, we will let go of that question. Next one. Video course doubt. Okay. What are the differences between chanting and recitation? Mantras are chanted or recited, or both? Generally, we use the word chanting for something that has cadence. Upar niche, Om Bhadrang Karne Bhishriyama Devaha. There is up and down. Usually when we study chanting first, up and down is there, but only the head goes up and down. Om Bhadrang Karne Bhishriyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyema Akshebhir, like that. Okay, something goes up and down. That's a good start. Okay, very good start. how to stop this habit? Put a few books that are in the windowsill. I love the fact that this room has built-in bookshelves in the form of windowsills. I love that people keep them there. So few books take from the windowsill and balance on the head, like a Victorian lady going for her etiquette class. Okay, so then you just balance it and then you chant. Yeah, in one day the problem will be fixed. So so whenever there is a cadence, then you say it's a chanting. Mantras are chanted, shlokas are recited. Yes, you can't sing the shloka. You can't just take out a raga for Gita shlokas. Pujya Swamiji might have demonstrated in the course, in one of the videos. And so mantras are chanted, shlokas are recited, and then what else is there? The songs are sung. Samaveda mantras are sung. That's the only exception. But still it is not fully music. For music, something to be called music, technically, you have to have 5 swaras. The Samaveda stops at 4.5. Tantalizingly close to music, but not quite not music either, not quite music. Very, very interesting. And then what else? Mantras are, I have done all these. Sutras. Sutras are just read, okay? Yeah. Stotras are sung. Once in a while you can sing a stotra. Only exception is when you set the stotra to dance. Like there is somebody who is doing their Arangetram, which means the first dance performance, the debutante, the debut dance performance by a young girl or a young man, a young boy, is called Arangetram. So then sometimes the Dhyana shloka will be set into a little bit of music. It's only like 4 or 5 lines, so that it will elongate the shloka enough for the dancer to show the appropriate movements and make the audience get into the mood. Generally, shlokas are not sung. They can be, but they need not be sung because they already have their own meter. Okay, so that is that. Oh, some other things are there. What is the difference between mantra, shloka, stotra, sutra? Where or which book can we refer to understand more about these? So all of them, they have some sometimes in the Dharma Shastra, sometimes in the Purana, and sometimes in the Vyakarana Shastra. All these are defined. Sutra definitely is defined. What is sutra? Alpaksharam asandigdham saravat vishvato mukham astobhyam anavadyam cha sutram sutravido viduhu. So the sutra is that which is called sutra by the people who know the sutras. What is the sutra? That which is of very precise nature, alpaksharam, using the fewest letters possible. Asandigdham, you may use few letters, but it is just making no sense. It's just nonsense. No, it should be very clear what it means. Saravat means it should be meaningful, and then Vishvato Mukham, it should have more than one application. Astobhyam means not given to error, not given to wrong interpretation. Anavadyam means free of faults. So these are the characteristics of sutra. So like this, there are definitions, but then we can also go with smaller definitions. The word tra could be short for trayate, protects. In Sanskrit, which is a very cool language, we can have short forms. Gacchati iti gaha. So gacchati, 3 syllables, and you make it into just one. Gaha. Kutra gacchati? Khe gacchati. What is khe? Space. Kham khe khani. So here it's not 2 spaces, it is 7th case of space. Khe gacchati. Goes in space. What is that? Khagaha. Bird. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it Superman? We will never know. But something that goes in space is called khagaha. And then that which goes with the help of its upper body, its chest, etc. Urasi gacchati iti uragaha. What is uragaha? Snake. And then what else is there? Na gacchati iti agaha. What is agaha? Mountain. Yes. Answer came late, but at least it came. Yes. Mountain. Agaha, mountain. So Sanskrit has this beautiful way. And then dadati iti daha. Varadaha. Varam dadati iti daha. Like this, you have these short forms. Gacchati and dadati, like most things can be pibati iti paha. Somapaha. Somam pibati iti somapaha. Padapaha. Padapaha means what? It doesn't drink feet, okay? Don't say that it drinks feet. No, it drinks with the feet. Padbhyam pibati iti padapaha. Tree. Tree drinks through its feet. We drink through our mouth. So like this, all these short forms are there, very much permissible, very much part of the beautiful alankara which is in the form of Sanskrit grammar. So what all these have in common? Sutra, stotra, mantra. What do they have in common? They all end in tra. What is this tra? It can mean anything. For now, let us take it as trayate. So, stotra, stavanena trayate, that which protects through praise. Stotra, the stu becomes sto, and so stu means to praise, stotra. Then what else is there? Then mantra, mananat trayate, that which protects upon repetition. And then shloka, I don't know, I haven't looked at the vyutpatti of it, we'll have to see. And then sutra also, I don't know why it is called sutra. So sutram, sutravido, viduhu. Sutra, I think, comes from the word sutra, which is also meaning thread, that which is like an underlying thread of all the arguments, could be like that. So that is the meanings. Okay. Arjuna wanted to quit. Krishna asked him to fight. Why did Krishna ask him to fight? Because he was not ready to quit. He was not really ready to quit. And then he wanted to quit because he couldn't handle it. That is not when to quit. Quitting means what? I can't handle it. When the going gets tough, we have an expression. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Yes. So this must not be the time to leave. This is the time to stay. When you feel like going, stay. When you feel like staying, go. Especially if you are in Vedanta. That's why the sannyasi is told 3 nights in somebody's house, finish, and no more after that. Because then you start talking to the family and you find out that the lady of the house is a very good cook, and then whatever and whatever she makes agrees with your dietary whatever also. dietary, what is that called? Restrictions. What are dietary restrictions? Gluten free, grain free, lactose free. What else? Taste free. Yeah. By the time you are done with all the things, you are a fresharian. Okay, that's all you can have. So you find that the lady of the house, your hostess, is just fabulous cook. And then you say, okay, I think I'll just stay here. They love me and they don't mind me staying here. No. When you feel like staying, when you feel like staying, what? Leave. Yeah. Because then you will become the mediator between the next time the husband and wife have a tiff. Yeah. Then you won't feel so tough. Okay. You will become enmeshed in their family politics. And they will say, oh, please tell my daughter to come home. She's staying out late at night. And then all these things will happen. So therefore, so when you feel like staying, when you feel like doing the same thing again and again, leave. This is Vedanta, full of paradoxes. We better get used to it right at the beginning. So when you feel like going, stay. Because when you feel like leaving, there is a pressure to leave. And when there is a pressure to leave, there is something that needs to be learned. So stay, learn it, and then only go. So Arjuna was in a very strange predicament. Having agreed to this war face to face with his people, he loses the aplomb. He had convinced himself this is going to be just fine, and he had convinced himself he could fight. He loses the courage. He doesn't have courage, and he is overcome with a strange kind of a compassion. And what is the compassion? That these are my people, they should be with me, they all should be with me, they are not with me, they are somewhere else, and so therefore I don't want to fight them. They are opposing me. And so his dvesha for the war makes it imperative for him to stay and then iron through all the kinks. Where are the kinks? In the kinky head. In the head which is full of kinks, iron it out. Meaning process the fear, process the disgust of the war, process all that, stay. That is why he was asked to stay. Second reason he was asked to stay, which is a corollary of the first reason, is that he was not ready for sannyasa, meaning he was not ready for Vedanta. If he were ready for Vedanta, he could have gone and led the life of a sannyasi. But he was not ready. How do we know? 12 years he was in the forest. And then what did he do those 12 years? He must have met lot of gurus in the forest. Did he say, please give me knowledge of Brahman? No. He said, please bless me so that I can overpower these idiots in the war that is going to take place 12 years hence. This is what he told. And so therefore, he is not ready for Vedanta. Raga dveshas have to be taken care of. Preparation is for the study is not there, and therefore he is asked to remain in his ashrama, in his varna, kshatriya varna, grihasthashrama, and fight. Varna means role here, whatever role as a warrior, as a commander in chief. So now in our life, different situations, how to know A, when to quit, B, when to fight, C, when to accept everything as my karmic result, D, when to let go. Okay, very nice question. So in our lives, many different situations arise. True, very true. So when to quit? When you no longer want to quit, you can go. This was what Pujya Swamiji did all his life. This is how he would respond to all the questions. Once one brahmachari said, when am I getting sannyasa? When am I getting sannyasa? I have done 3-year course. I am teaching people. I want sannyasa. When am I getting sannyasa? And Swamiji quietly said, when you no longer want it, it will come. Yeah, this is how it is. Even the desire for sannyasa can become what? A binding desire, yes. That also becomes a binding desire. I went to somebody's house that was about to take sannyasa, and then I had to go like this because there was not a single thing in that house, small kitchen, small little living cum bedroom, very nice place, neatly, immaculately kept, but there was not a single thing that was not orange. Everything is orange. Yes, painted orange, ceiling orange, I kid you not, okay, I am not making this up, ceiling orange, floor orange, terracotta colored tiles, and then dining table orange, fridge also orange. Yes. People see my computer and say, oh, you have orange computer. They make fun of me for having this orange computer. But this person, and then they were very, very, hospitable to me. They took me to the kitchen area, even the peeler, the vegetable peeler, apple peeler, which color was it? Everything was orange, completely. So that much the love for orange color, that is how, that is what it is. But sannyasa is not the love of orange, it's much, much more than that. And when we understand that, and when we understand that the heart itself is the heart of a sannyasi, the temperament, as we are seeing in the 6th chapter so nicely, the temperament is that of a sannyasi also, and so therefore we can see when to quit, when you no longer want to quit, when to fight. Generally speaking, you don't need to fight. Yeah. Oh, but there are rights that are being violated. Yeah, you can fight. You can do that if you want to. Some things are gone, and some things need to be restored. Some property has been taken away. You may have to do that. But do it from a place of letting go. As Arjuna is told in the 11th chapter, Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. You don't fight, you bring Ishvara into your life, and just like how the children go. The children catch hold of the mummy's sari and say, this one beat me, this one said bad things to me, this one pushed me, and then the child goes and sits down. All right, the mother goes and then the mother goes and sets them in order. So like this, you think of Bhagavan, you pray to Bhagavan and let Bhagavan come and take away all your fights. May your life be fightless and flightless. Don't take flight, don't take up a fight. Let it be peacefully led. That is my prayer. And then when to accept everything as my karmic result. Right from the beginning. Yes. This should not be point C. This should be point A. Yes. Right at the beginning, you say, here we go again. But why is it karma? Because what else is it? What is karma? That which is inevitable is karma. That which is unchangeable, at least right now, is karma phala. So that which I cannot accept is karma. My non-acceptance is also karma. Look at that. Yeah. Is it, see, just because I don't like what comes, is it going to change? No, it's not going to change. Even if I want it to change, it's not going to change. No, but I can't accept. Then I always say, can you accept your non-acceptance? Absolutely not. Okay, can you accept the non-acceptance of your non-acceptance? No. Can you accept the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance? Then they get sick of me and say, yes, 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 I can accept the 9th non-acceptance. Okay, then it's very easy to then track back. In fact, the secret is, if you accept one non-acceptance, all of them are as good as accepted. But there is something to it. There is a psychological trick here. If I accept the non-acceptance, then I am in acceptance also of my non-acceptance, which is a very beautiful thing. My non-acceptance becomes a part of Ishvara's Jagat. Ishvara's Jagat includes my non-acceptance. Think about it, how great this is. Ishvara's Jagat includes my non-acceptance. That means what? It's not my non-acceptance. That there is non-acceptance is acceptable. See, this is how one does that. So then, when to let go? Right away. Right now, let go. Okay? Yeah. Because we can't hold on to anything. When the person dies at the end of the life, how are the hands? Like this. When a child is born, how are the hands? Like this, ready to fight with the Jagat, ready to hold on to everything. But then all that goes. So don't wait from womb to tomb, let go in the beginning itself. This is a blessing to study the Gita, to study the Upanishad, because we know that. Yeah. Aha, this is nice. What is this? How to know that I am ready for sannyasa? Nice question. But then there are 4, 5. Is it the same question or is it a different? Is it the same question or different question? Let us read a little bit and find out. What are the self-evaluating criteria or points that can be used to understanding correctly, self-evaluating correctly, that may help in the decision? It's the same thing. Okay, we'll read the whole thing. All right, yeah. Here we go. What are the self-evaluating criteria that may help in decision making on taking sannyasa? Second one. Third one, after self-analysis, then I can take further advice from sannyasis, swamis, swaminis, right? Okay, then fourth one, some swamis say that earn enough money, have enough money in your bank account, or have some source of income, then only take sannyasa. Fifth one, what if I can't find any accommodation, food, or even after searching for, after taking sannyasa? Although have to accept it as prasada buddhi or my karma, however, this doubt is very much there. Then last corollary of this is how to know I am not escaping from life situations and planning for sannyasa. Very nice question. I applaud the person who has written this very candidly and courageously, because it is a question that's lurking in everybody's heart, not immediately, but after 1 or 2, 3 month courses. This kind of a longing and this kind of a question does come up. Okay, so this is a very important question. Let us see. So, how to know I am ready for sannyasa? Because how to know? Because the thing is, when you don't even want it, as we saw, when you don't even want it and don't even feel like asking the question, then you are really ready. Because sannyasa, later on you say taking sannyasa. Sannyasa is not taken, first of all. Sannyasa is given. This shiksha, this lesson I learned from Swami Taranandaji, and once it was my job to take some newly minted sannyasis to take them to Haridwar, so that the new sannyasis could have his darshan. And so we went there. He was always very, very affable. We had told that we were coming, and so he would love to make cups of tea. He would make it himself when he was able. In those days, he would make it himself, and then it will all be ready, to just be ready. As soon as we came, he would receive us. He would say, first have tea. This was his always the way to greet. Have tea, then we will talk. So then we all sat there, and then after the greetings and everything was exchanged, one new sannyasi just immediately burst out due to excitement and said, Swamiji, Swamiji, we have taken sannyasa. And Swamiji became very serious and he said, sannyasa is not taken, it is given. This is a very big lesson. Why is it not taken and is given? Because taken means there is a modicum of human agency. In sannyasa there is no agency. In sannyasa, there is only giving up. Giving up is more of a dropping off. The dropping off is natural, and what you are throwing is garbage, really. That's what it is. So, in the night when you throw garbage, do you call a press conference? Please come and see how much garbage I am throwing. Everybody come, please take click photos and videos of me along with my garbage which I am going to throw away. You don't say that. Similarly, in sannyasa, what you are throwing is raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, moha, mada, matsarya, all these things, lobha. There is nothing to talk about. It's a quiet affair and there is no agency. It is something which the Guru decides whether one is fit for it or not, and when that fitness is there, it naturally comes. It comes from Guru and Bhagavan. It really does. It just comes. Okay, and then so that is how you know you are ready for sannyasa. Self-evaluating criteria. This we can talk about. This is also very nice. Self-evaluating criteria. Swami Paramarthananda ji has already blessed us with that. It is called FIR. What is F? The frequency of the outbursts. Samsara mode. Am I in Brahman mode or am I in Samsari mode? You have to see. What is the Samsari mode? Constant strife, constant complaints, constant discontentment. This is Samsari mode. And then once in a while Brahman mode. When one is asleep. That's the only time. So what to do here? So there the criteria is F stands for frequency. The frequency with which my outbursts and samsari mode operates. How often do I lose it? This is what something very nice to document. You can keep a journal. You can keep on documenting. Oh no, here I go. One more. One more time I lost it. One more time I reacted. One more time I said something I should not have. And so make a list of that. And then after that the list itself is so depressing, the next day you don't feel like getting out of bed. Okay, which brings us to the second point. The intensity. The I stands for intensity of the samsara attack, of the asura attack. Inner asura, of course. And so the intensity of the samsara attack means what? Meaning before when I lost it, then I would not get out of bed for 3 days. Completely out of commission. Out of commission. Not fit for vyavahara, transaction. So now as one grows, the frequency of the outburst is less. The intensity is also less, and then the third one is R, recovery time. What is the recovery time before? When somebody said something and one was in a bad mood, the recovery time was 3 months. Only after the end of the course, when I stopped seeing the person who said something bad to me, then only I would be okay. Now the recovery time is what? 3 minutes. These are the criteria. Swami Paramarthananda ji has blessed us with this model, and we can use that. After self-analysis, take further advice from sannyasis, swamis, etc. You can do that. You can find out what it was like for them to become a sannyasi, and then you can find out what it was like. Every sannyasi has an interesting story. Yeah, including Pujya Swamiji. Pujya Swamiji did not even know he was getting sannyasa. He was somewhere in Bangalore, and then he was called by Swami Chinmayanandji and urgent, please come. He rushed over and then he was given sannyasa. So like that. So everybody has a story. Some Swamis say earn enough money, have enough money in the bank as a source of income, then only later take sannyasa. Well, that is not the traditional view. Okay, the traditional view, although this is not a wrong advice, because these days where we don't have the same infrastructure as before. Like you yourself mentioned, what if nobody gives me bhiksha? That was your 5th point. Yeah. This is an important point. I go door to door and there is nobody giving bhiksha. They are all living in flats, and then they are what? They've all gone to work. Husband gone to work, wife also want to work, kids gone to school, college. Nobody is there, and then who will give me bhiksha? This question would not even have arisen as a thought in the previous yugas, or even in this yuga earlier. In our parents' generation, grandparents' generations, great-grandparents' generation, no sannyasi or someone sannyasi wannabe would even think about that question, because this is a culture of giving, especially food. Food there is no shortage of, there has never been any shortage of. Somehow it is there, somehow Anna Lakshmi is gracing this Bharat, this country. And also why she is gracing, because in the head there is no shortage in people's heads, most of the people's heads, except of course if one has grown up under terrible poverty conditions, that barring that, rest of the people, even people who don't have much, like look at that lady who had tied what is that called, a big cloth around her stomach not to feel hungry, invited Adi Shankara for bhiksha and presented to him a dried amla fruit. Look at that. So food is never, the thinking is abundant, so food is never in shortage. And so if I have to live by bhiksha, and where are the people giving bhiksha, that is a important criterion. And then not only bhiksha, that of course somehow it will get taken care of, but what about old age? What about disease? All these things, as in a way, as a form of loka sangraha. If you already have funds, then you can retain it, give it to the ashram and say, please use this for any kind of sickness or old age or something like that. That can be done. It can be kept in some kind of a form and then be used for something. People do that frequently in different ashrams, I have seen. That is a very judicious thing. But if you don't have money, there is no need to say, I am going to earn for 20 years in order to have this and then take sannyasa. That is like going backward. Okay, so we don't need to do that. And then, so there is a practical thing here. But at the same time, we must not sort of put so much. We have to be objective about money. Money is something that will just fulfill certain things. That's all it is. It's not a ticket to security. Sannyasi must not really think about money, because otherwise if without sannyasa, what was I thinking? I was thinking without sannyasa that money is the source of security. If after sannyasa also I think money is the source of security, then I am not doing the sannyasa justice. I am not doing myself as a sannyasi also any justice. So that's why I said, give the money to the, plan on giving the money to the ashram and say, please keep this in reserve for when I am donating this, keep it for me later on. And even if you don't say it, they will definitely take care of that. So what if I can't find accommodation, food, etc.? Although I have to accept it as karma phala, this doubt is there. Yeah, the doubt is there because we live in strange times. That is why the doubt is there. How to know that I am not escaping from life situations? And so, therefore you can say, depending on your age, therefore you can say that I will plan to become a sannyasi internally first, without taking a sannyasa. That is the foolproof plan. Everyone can become a sannyasi right now. You don't need Viraja Homa, you don't need orange clothes, you don't need mantras to be given by the Ganga, nothing. When do you become a sannyasi? Right now. That is the way to go. Don't worry about anybody else, anything else. You be a sannyasi right now. Practice sannyasa every single day. Wake up and dress yourself. Dress the heart in orange. Dress the heart in an orange dhoti, whatever, in orange clothes, and then only come out. your demeanor will be different, and your preparation will also get a promotion. You will start preparing very nicely. And then the beauty of it is, when you are really prepared, you won't even want sannyasa. You will say, why bother? Yeah. Let me remain as I am. I am contented as I am. That's how it is. I think we are done. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritangamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari